There is a place where the tiger is still king of the jungle. The Sundarbans forest that borders Bangladesh and India. This vast mangrove forest is a last stronghold for the endangered Bengal tiger. It's also a place where these beautiful big cats have a terrible reputation. Some have developed a taste for human flesh. In bad years, over 50 people are killed and many injured. There's growing fear and hostility. Tiger scientists in Bangladesh are desperate to prevent further bloodshed. But if a solution can't be found, the tiger's days will be numbered. One village has a bold plan to train street dogs to protect them from the man-eating tiger on their doorstep. But will these mongrels be any match for the biggest of the big cats? A man-eating tiger has struck again. A fisherman has been killed, and his friends want to retrieve his body from the forest. As the tiger could still be guarding the corpse, it's a very risky thing to do. Tiger biologist Adam Barlow and his forest department team want the group to turn back.
আমি বুঝতে পারি যে আপনার বন্ধু ভিতরে আছে কিন্তু একদম বিপজ্জনক অবস্থা আমি 100% sure বিপজ্জনক বাঘ এই জায়গায় হবে.
Adam's an expert on the man-eating tigers of the Sundarbans and knows these people are playing with fire.
We try to persuade them not to go in there. This is a very bad idea, but they're going to go in anyway. And we're going to try and help them a little bit, make it a bit safe for them. But this is really not a safe situation.
Adam's worked with tigers in Asia for over 8 years, but he's never known man-eating to be as bad as it is here in Bangladesh.
Lots of tiger tracks here. We're very close to the spot where this man was killed. Now I'm going to try and organise things so it's a bit safer. Egg minute, okay.
Adam gives the dead man's friends some critical safety advice before they enter the tiger's territory.
So, আমরা মনে হচ্ছে যে ভিতরে যাইতে সময় আপনার একটা বন্ধুর সাথে সব সময় একটা বন্ধু and যদি বাঘ আসতেছে and রাগ আছে running না মানে যোগাযোগ and লাঠি okay and একদম শব্দ and আরো মানুষ আসবে ঠিক আছে.
After a lethal bite to the man's neck or throat, the tiger would have dragged the victim into dense forest. A man's body is large enough to provide meals for several days.
There's some blood from the tiger victim. Very fresh still. Still wet. Still following the blood trail. They found a bit of cloth from the man's clothing that was the guy that was killed.
The fisherman's mutilated body has been found. The tiger hasn't finished its meal.
just got the body. We're just coming out of the jungle. The tiger didn't attack us on the way out, which was really good. And now they're going to transport the body back to the village for proper burial.
Before they leave the area, there's something they must do. Material from the dead man's shirt will be a warning to anyone else. Their mission's accomplished, but they leave heavy-hearted. The Sundarbans is the largest mangrove forest in the world. 6 times the size of Greater London. It's a tidal jungle that's been created where the Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers enter the Bay of Bengal. It's hostile to humans, but the delta is rich and diverse in wildlife, and a sanctuary for 400 or so Bengal tigers. Throughout Asia and the Russian Far East, tigers are on the brink of extinction. The Sundarbans is one of the largest tracts of wilderness left in their range. Tigers are usually frightened of people, but not here. Many of these animals are known to be habitual man-eaters. Adam and the Forest Department's Tiger Response Team are battling to save an endangered big cat while also struggling to keep local people safe. The tiger's making their job increasingly difficult because it's no longer just the people working inside the forest who are at risk from attack. Tigers can easily cross rivers. They're excellent swimmers. And some are venturing into villages that border the forest. For over a year, the residents of Chandpai, on the northeast edge of the forest, have been terrorized by a predatory tiger. For many months, it killed livestock and dogs, but one night, it took its first human victim. Adam's come to Chandpai with fellow tiger scientist Monirul Khan to piece together what happened.
I hope someone is here.
Krishna Bodo is the son of the woman who died.
কোথায়? আসেন দেখি। কি দিনে না রাতে?
রাতে বাম আসে ওই সাইড দিয়ে।
হ্যাঁ।
এই সাইড দিয়ে এই ঘরের গা বেরিয়ে এখানে আসে। এখানে আমার মা এই খাটের ঘরে ছিল। এখানে এই বেড়া ভেঙে আমি শব্দ টের হয়ে মার এইরকম একটা শব্দ টের হয়ে আমি উঠে এসে দেখি যে শুকনো কাঠ পড়ে আছে, আমার মা ওই খাটের ঘরে নাই। আমি কিছু সময় এখানে বেড়ায় আঘাত করতে লাগলাম, তারপরে দেখি যে আমার মারে দেখা যাচ্ছে। আমি বাইরে এসে মার মাথার সারা ভেঙে গেছে, কিন্তু মা জীবিত আছে, শ্বাস প্রশ্বাস চলতেছে, কিন্তু সেন্সলেস, কোনো সেন্স নেই। আমরা মারে নিয়ে ঘরে গেলে পরে আমার গ্রাম্য লোকজন কেউ আমার কাছে আসতে পারতেছে না, কেননা ভয়, সারা বাড়ি বাঘ। তারপরে কিছু সময় পরে কিছু লোকজন আসলো, এসে দেখা গেল যে মা 4:30 দিকে আমার মা শেষ নিঃশ্বাস পরিত্যাগ করলেন।
But what provoked this attack?
Looking at this wall, it looks quite substantial to us, but it's pretty flimsy for a tiger, and no more than some vegetation it might see in the jungle. And it sensed the woman in there, punched a hole through, and grabbed the woman out. The tragic thing and the surprising thing is that from this vantage point, you can see a whole load of cows over there. So the tiger's come here, it's got the choice. There's some cows over there, there's an old lady in there. I'm going to get the old lady. That means that this tiger is probably very bold, dangerous, and this is the tiger we really want to deal with and lessen the chance of this happening again.
This tiger is clearly no longer afraid of people, and the villagers now fear for their lives.
যে ওইখানতে আসে না ওইখানে দাঁড়াই থাকে একটা পাতা পড়লে আমাদের ভয় লাগে
বাড়ি বাড়ি এসে কুকুর মারে বসে এসে গরু মারে বাড়ি এসে মাছ ধরে এই মানে একটা খুব চাপ সৃষ্টি বাঘের জন্য
বাঘ যখন রাত্রে আসে তখন মানুষ ভয়তে রাস্তা দিয়ে হাঁটাচলা করতে পারে না
No one really knows why tigers become man-eaters. Old, sick or injured tigers may find killing humans easier than animal prey. Perhaps some tigers have added people to their diet after feeding on the victims of devastating cyclones. What's clear is that for Sundarbans tigers, eating humans can become a habit. So the Chanpai tiger must be stopped in its tracks. On the forest side of the river, Adam discovers just how close it's coming to the village.
We have some tiger tracks here. This is a pretty normal thing. We're in the Sundarbans. The trouble is, we're also right next to a village. And this tiger might be the very tiger that's crossing into this village and killing livestock and killing one old lady. The villagers are pretty frightened. Over 60 animals have been killed. And if we don't sort out this problem soon, we're going to have more livestock loss, more possible human tragedy, and nearly definitely a dead tiger.
There are so few tigers left in the wild that each one is precious. They are legally protected in Bangladesh, but it's hard to persuade local people of this tiger's value when it's causing so much tragedy. It's a complex problem, but Monirul has come up with a simple and radical solution. Village dogs. They're lowly mongrels, but Monirul thinks they could be trained up, not only to warn people of an approaching tiger, but also to scare it away for good.
Do you want to be a tiger hound?
In order to test his idea out, Monirul needs the help of a professional. Marielle Schmidt is a dog trainer from the United States who's volunteered to come to Chanpai to see if she can help make Monirul's idea work.
Hello. You must be Maria.
Hi, Monirul. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Chanpai.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. If we can use these dogs to spot the tiger or to chase it back to the forest, that's a very good solution.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting the local dogs and seeing what they're like to work with. They're probably fairly different than what I've worked with at home.
Just be careful what you're asking.
At home in Montana, Marielle runs general obedience classes. But she also specializes in training guard dogs. In America, certain breeds are already used to frighten bears away from people. But no one's tried pitting street dogs against a tiger. Bangladeshi dogs are treated like pests, not pets, and are fearful of everything.
Oh, yeah, that one's a little shy for what we need.
Yeah.
It's a little skinny, too.
Yeah.
Marielle has just 3 weeks to see if she can transform them into obedient tiger hounds. Adam, meanwhile, is trying to control the immediate crisis.
Follow.
He knows the Champai tiger might strike again at any time. Adam and his team will offer the villagers advice and support if there's further tiger trouble.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
They post stickers around the village to publicize their tiger helpline.
We're going around now for all the mobile phone shops. These are the main places where everyone goes. If someone hasn't got a mobile phone, they're going to go there and see that sticker. Someone calls a number, then if there's a tiger in the village, then we're going to rush to that spot and try and stop chaos happening, stop people being killed by tiger, stop the tiger being killed.
If the village dogs are to help long-term, Monirul and Marielle first need to find out whether any of them have hidden talent.
He's the first one that's been quite aggressive taking the food from my hand, which is not necessarily a bad thing. He would need to learn respect. He's a little jumpy around his head sometimes, a little nervous about being touched back there, but that can be a bit of a dominance trait too. Okay, I like him. I give him my highest score. We'll give him a 7.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So this is the
Good boy.
highest scorer.
So, yep, highest score so far.
At last, a handful of dogs with some talent. But they're still a long way from creating a canine defense force. There's mounting pressure on Adam to build up a profile of the Chun-Pai serial killer, so he can work out how to deal with it. It's not a job for the faint-hearted.
I'm a little bit nervous. Normally a tiger is afraid of humans, but this tiger's gotten over that fear, and now it's trying to kill cattle. It's starting to kill even one person. And the forest is so dense that I could come across this tiger and I'm not going to see it until it's like 2 meters away. We got some bear spray, we got forest guards, we got a knife, and hopefully the tiger is going to hear me coming before it's too late. So we've got to rely on a bit of experience, and hopefully the tiger doesn't fancy attacking me today. Tiger tracks, a few days old. Probably now, I don't really know, it's a little bit messed up. But heading this way, heading towards the village. I'm going to see where they go.
Its gender is significant. A female may have hungry cubs to feed. If she's a man-eater, her cubs may also develop the taste for human flesh. A male tiger patrols a territory 4 times larger than a female's, so he will have different hunting patterns. Just knowing this will help Adam decide how to best protect the village. It's the first day of the tiger hound training. The chosen dogs and their owners make their way from Chun-Pai and neighboring villages to Mariel's training ground. 8 dogs were selected from the dog audition. Mariel now needs to turn them into a well-behaved pack.
It looks like it's going to be interesting here. A lot of growling and attitude already, so hope we can keep the peace. Okay, maybe backwards. Congratulations, you are all now tiger hounds in training. They've been selected for a very important job to help protect you and the people of your village from tigers.
Mariel starts off by giving the dogs vaccinations, new leashes, and collars.
I got an extra large collar for B2. We have Sheik, the troublemaker, loudmouth, who always seems to lose his collar and leash, so hopefully we can keep this one on him. It goes between his shoulder blades, right on his skin. He's a little excited about the meat.
Bullet, the star of the audition, is bounding with enthusiasm, while Bittu's reluctant to follow orders.
Good.
Mariel's first challenge is to get the dogs to cooperate with her. But her real problem will be to get the dogs to cooperate with each other.
Enough of that. We have a lot of very strong dogs here, and all males, and that's a setup for a lot of aggression amongst them. But we're hoping to save that aggression for the tigers. No, okay, too close. Okay, too close.
Barely an hour passes before the first casualty.
B2 slipped his collar and attacked Som. He's got a pretty nasty looking wound in his hock. Good boy. Som's going to have to be retired from the training at least for a couple of days, and we'll see how this is going. It should either be getting much better or it may be getting infected.
If the dogs can't work together, they'll never have the strength in numbers they need to stand up to a tiger. Som's injury is a measure of how antisocial these local dogs are. The dogs selected by Mariel are all alpha males. To survive, they've had to look out for themselves. But as loners, they've made themselves vulnerable. Tigers will eat whatever they can catch. As top predator here, they play a vital role in keeping the forest wildlife balanced and varied. So why has the Champai tiger turned its back on its natural prey and begun to eat domestic animals and people instead? In the forest near the village, Adam makes a discovery that may explain why the Champai tiger has become so bold.
This is cattle tracks. This means that from the village, cows are crossing over and grazing here. This might be part of the problem. If a tiger sees cattle a lot, it's going to get used to it, start eating it. Maybe overcome some of its fear of things associated with people. All over the place, just cattle. I just can't believe how many tracks there are here. If I'm a tiger and I'm hungry, I see a big fat cow wandering around, I'm gonna get it after a while. Sometime during the night, the tiger will be walking close by to here. And at some stage it's going to make a choice. Does it stay in the forest? Does it go into the village? Take some easy pickings from the cattle in there.
But Adam and his team are finding further reasons for the growing tiger problem. As the villages that lie close to the Sundarbans expand, wood and other forest resources are being used up. People are also illegally poaching deer, the tiger's favorite wild prey. Many villagers realize the tiger's going hungry.
মনে হয় যেন জঙ্গলে কোনো খাবার পাচ্ছে না, এর জন্য আসে। এপারে আসলেই খাবার পাচ্ছে, মুখের দ্বারে নিয়ে চলে যাচ্ছে, এর জন্য আসে।
এক বাঘের জন্য জঙ্গলটা নির্ভর থাকে বাঘের পরে, এবং এই জঙ্গলটা আগে ধরেন খুব ছিল আর কি, বাগান সাগান ছিল, এখন বাগান সাগান নাই, জঙ্গলটা হালকা হয়ে গেছে, মানে চোয়া হয়ে গেছে।
Right up next to the village, there's tiger track. There's one tiger track right here. Maybe it crossed at some stage. Hopefully it didn't cause any trouble. We're going to follow these tracks a little bit further, see where it went.
Even if the villagers stop grazing their cattle in the forest and poaching deer, it may be too late to reverse the eating habits of the Champai tiger. It must be stopped from coming to the village.
Good boy, shake. Attaboy, ready? Shake heel. Good heel. Good boy.
It was a slow start, but now the tiger hounds are getting the hang of things.
Good.
Som's leg is on the mend, and it looks like he can rejoin the team.
Good, it looks very good. I think he's just about back to new. Okay, Som.
Marielle needs as many dogs as she can get.
Good sit. Give it to him. Good sit.
After just a few days, the dogs are becoming more responsive.
It can take them a while. And then stay. Make sure that they say good, stay, when the dog's holding it, especially.
This may seem a far cry from tiger chasing, but absolute obedience is vital if the dogs are to be focused on the job. One dog in particular has shot to the top of the class.
Well, Bullet's kind of our star pupil so far. He's progressing very quickly, and that's from a combination of a trainable temperament and an effective handler who's done a good job of learning the cues and having good timing. So it's coming together nicely.
Bullet shows strong leadership when Marielle introduces the dogs to their first tiger. They've yet to discover the difference between fake fur and the real thing.
Lakshmi has been in another fight and has even worse injuries than before.
Although the villagers live with tigers on their doorstep, Few have ever seen one and know little about them. So Monirul, Mariel and Adam invite the whole village to the screening of a tiger film in the school playground. By appreciating the tiger better, maybe people will have second thoughts about killing it. There's a lot of persuading to do, because it's on a dark night like this that the Chanpai tiger strikes again. This time, it's only a goat. But Monirul knows, from 8 years studying tigers, that the loss of just one animal can have a devastating impact on family fortunes.
So there's a fresh pug mark over here. তো এই দিক দিয়ে নিয়ে গেছে না জঙ্গলে? So the tiger grabbed the goat from here and took into the forest, which is only few meters away, and there is only a creek between the village and the forest. It's a big loss for him, as he is a poor man, and the goat was pregnant, so it's a very big loss for the family.
Chanpai is losing patience with this tiger.
I'm going to call Adam and tell him about this tiger.
Monirul wants Adam to track where this tiger went after making its kill. The tiger is now killing on a weekly basis. It may be a protected animal, but if it carries on like this, villagers will take the law into their own hands. Even Adam is surprised by its brazen behavior.
A goat was killed just over here, dragged by the tiger across this canal, walked through someone else's backyard, jumped from over here, right over here, carried on over here. We're quite far from the jungle. Jumped over here and went into these open fields over there and headed back towards the jungle with the goat in its mouth. It's really amazing to me how bold this tiger is. It's just wandering around, doesn't care that there's humans about.
And reaching the riverbank, Adam finds the trails red hot. The tiger's been seen in the last hour.
কি অবস্থা?
মানে আমরা তো ওখানে অ্যাপেল খেতে গেছি।
আপনি এই পাশে থেকে না এই পাশে থেকে?
আমি ওপারে গেছি।
নিকটে, বাঘ নিকটে, কত নিকটে?
7-8 দূরে, 7-8।
Sure. So he was actually on the other side of the canal. Maybe it was really close, I don't know. There's always some kind of crazy story around tigers, but definitely there's some tracks over there. We're going to have a look right now. Okay. Really new tracks. These are about as fresh as they get. I think the boy story is true. The tiger was here and it's gone right in this bit of jungle. It's probably very close and there's no reason for us to go in there, so I'm just going to back out and keep safe. There's no, yeah, the tiger's in there. Let's go back.
This is the closest Adam has ever come to the Chanpai tiger. It would have been hiding just meters away in the dense forest. It's way too close for comfort. The dogs are needed more than ever, but no one knows how they'll deal with a real threat. Monirul and Mariel have obtained special permission to introduce 3 of the dogs, Tom, Som and Bittu, to a captive zoo tiger.
Oh, what a magnificent creature.
Well, this will be really exciting to see what the dogs do. There's no doubt we'll get a reaction today.
One by one, the dogs are taken to meet the tiger in its den.
Good boy. There we go. Oh, we're right here. Okay. Look,
Bittu's first.
There okay. It's okay. Good boy, good boy, good boy, good tiger, good tiger, good boy, good tiger, good boy. That's it.
But Bittu doesn't even make it into the enclosure.
Good boy. I'm not going to push him to go any closer because that's obviously very scary for him. Good boy. Good boy, Tom. Good boy. Where's the
Tom's
tiger?
up next. Will he be braver than Bittu?
Good, good. Good, Tom. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. That's the way, Tom. Good for you. Ooh, look at the tigers. They're going to... Watch out. Good boy. Good for you. Good boy. He got a little spooked there initially, but he held his ground surprisingly well, especially when the tigers had a pretty assertive response to him there.
The tiger's last visitor is Som.
Okay, I think Sam's going to give us our strongest reaction yet, one way or the other. He's been more tuned into scent, which he's already picking up here nicely. Where's the tiger, Sam? Where's the tiger? Good boy, Sam. Good boy. Good boy. Easy. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Good, tiger. Good boy. That a boy, Sam. Good boy. That's pretty impressive. Stand up to that. Good boy. Good boy, Sam.
The next step is to see whether they gain strength in numbers. The pack of 3 head in together for a face-off with the tiger.
Good boy. Good. Good boy, B2. Good. Good boy. Good. Good. Good boy. Good boy. Good, B2. Good boy, B2. Good boy. Good. Good. Good boy. Tiger looks less sure of itself. Good. There, the tiger's leaving. Okay, that's a different response we've seen. Good. 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 Good boy. Good. Good for you. Good. Good.
Bittu was the weakest link, but brothers Tom and Som took heart from each other, showing that dogs that have grown up together work best as a pack.
Good, Sonny. Good son. That a boy. Okay, let's move it out here. I think our point's been made here. Let's head on out.
Tom, Som and Bittu's owners have a particular reason for wanting their dogs to protect them from tigers. They have one of the most dangerous jobs in Bangladesh. They are forest honey collectors. On April the 1st, they join other teams gathered from across the Sundarbans to wait for the official start of the honey collection season. Hundreds of boats race towards the forest to find the best honey spots. But not all these men will return. Last year, 20 honey collectors were killed by tigers. Monirul and Adam want to find ways of reducing the casualties. Tom, Som and Bittu's owners would also have liked their newly trained dogs on board, but domestic animals are currently not allowed in the forest. In the absence of dogs, they'll have to rely on spiritual protection. They will not venture into the forest until the Gunin or shaman has performed his traditional ritual. Through his chanting and gestures, he contacts the spirits to find out whether this forest is safe to enter. Honey is a precious commodity, but they will collect as much as they can in the shortest time possible. They are dicing with death. In dense forest, tigers wait silently and ambush their prey.
We found the hive, and now we're going to burn some leaves to smoke out the bees so they're not so aggressive. Collect some honey and go back to the boat.
The smoke may make the bees less aggressive, but it reduces visibility to zero. It's now that the risk of tiger attack is highest. Monirul sees just how useful dogs could be.
I think dogs could make a big difference because it could smell the tiger when people are busy at work or when they smoke the honeycomb, and perhaps would save their lives. Although it is not permitted now, but I hope in the future perhaps they will be able to use the dogs when they work.
It's a dangerous job and for not really that much reward, and they really run a risk of being attacked, and quite a few of them are. So if there's any way we can make them a bit safer, then we've got to try those things.
The Chanpai street dogs were once treated like dirt, but now both handlers and their dogs have become local celebrities. Marielle even has her own fan club.
Wow, a whole book. Thank you. Look at them all. Beautiful.
Star status is all very well, but Monirul and Marielle want to show the village as a whole how the dogs might offer a bit more protection.
It's my hope that in my short time that I've been here, I've been able to excite some people about the possibilities that happen when we learn to communicate with our dogs.
Where'd it go? Go, boy, where'd it go?
Som has a fantastic nose for tiger scent and has been trained to sit once he gets a whiff from one of the boxes.
Yes, Sam! Yes, Sam!
He doesn't let Marielle down.
Good. I think that's probably good, right? Okay. Okay!
After the show, the Chanpai pack assembles on a night patrol. If they smell a tiger, they'll alert the villagers and try to drive it back to the forest. It's dark by the time Adam reaches the forest guard post where the dead tiger's body has been taken. It's a tragic sight to see such a magnificent and rare animal bludgeoned to death.
We're now trying to weigh the tiger, trying to find out how heavy it is. We don't know much about tigers in the Sundarbans, how big they are. And this is important information to see if this tiger is a little bit different to tigers living in other areas.
Measurements from other tigers killed by people suggest that Sundarbans tigers may be much smaller than other Bengal tigers. Adam notes this tiger's identity, sex, and age.
We know it's a young female because of the condition of its teeth. The teeth are very new, very sharp, and not worn in any way. It's got all its incisors, all its canines. I think it's probably about 3 years old.
This young female was close to breeding age. Over the past century, tiger numbers worldwide have plummeted by 95%. And now there's one less tiger in the Sundarbans. Adam wants to find out more about how she died. But for that, he'll have to wait for daybreak. Back in Chanpai, Marielle has just a couple of days left before she must return to the US.
Great job, guys. That was much better and more focused. Like to see if we can get it even a little bit more.
While the pack perfect their tiger driving skills, she has one final job to do. She'll have to choose one of the dog handlers to continue the training. One has exactly the skills and attitude she's looking for.
Good.
It's Shubod, the owner of star dog Bullet. If local people can show such resolve, then Adam won't have tragic missions like this. He travels to where the other tiger was killed and talks to the locals to build up a picture of what happened.
This is the place where they first saw the tiger. About 20-25 people came with sticks. It attacked one person. Then the tiger just shot off in this direction. We're going to go and see the next scene of what happened.
Frightened and confused, the tiger would have lashed out in self-defense.
This is the next place. The tiger paused again. We traveled about 40 meters through the paddy fields. They shouted, they tried to get close to it, tried to scare it away. It attacked one. So again, the tiger paused. We traveled about 15 meters. The same group of people. At the moment, there's just a small group of villagers. Right here, it attacked 3 people, injuring, biting, scratching, and again, it moved on, just trying to escape these angry villagers. Everyone is coming. Everyone from the village is coming. Maybe more than 1,000 or 2,000 people. This is the last place that the tiger attacked someone. And suddenly you come across the scene of a very violent and frightening confrontation. Yesterday at 11 o'clock, a tiger was right here, and there was maybe 2,000 or 3,000 villagers surrounding it, beating it to death with sticks. Why it happened was because people didn't know what to do. They were afraid, and they had no training in how to proceed. We're going to change that. We're going to have teams that can respond to these incidents and know how to work around tigers and know when to intervene and when to just keep people separate from the tiger until it has a chance to go back to the jungle.
Adam has a huge task ahead of him. But Marielle's work here is done.
This is the end of our training together, and it's been a wonderful experience for me.
It's time for the dog pack to graduate.
Dogs are capable of. I've written up a training manual that I will leave with you that's been translated so that you have the tools to continue the work after I go.
The dogs are still a trial study, but the villagers of Chanpai have seen their potential. Long term, they'll need to breed the best qualities from their dogs. Som's superb scent detection, Bullet's courage and intelligence, Shake's aggressive attitude,
Still.
packs could be formed in other villages bordering the forest.
Sure enjoyed working with you. You're a fun dog to do all kinds of stuff with. And you lead them on into the future, okay, Bullet? Yes. Sire lots of future tiger hounds.
Hopefully, Monirul's idea and Marielle's legacy will be a lasting one. The human tiger problem must be resolved because the repercussions are huge for people and tigers.
বাঘ যদি না থাকে তার জঙ্গলটা থাকবে না, জঙ্গল যদি না থাকে আমাদের সম্পদ থাকবে না।
তো বাঘ একটা রক্ষী, জঙ্গলের পাহারাদার, সহজে বোঝা যাবে।
If people can find a way of minimizing conflict, then the Bengal tiger might be seen as the region's greatest asset, rather than its most terrifying threat. And the Sundarbans will remain a last great refuge for the tiger.